What's good, y'all? We got GloRilla burglary call turns into felony drug bust arrest. Hey man, we on the road to 100K. Okay, if you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, cause that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. Shouts out to Seti Nash. This the Reloaded channel though. Got 47 thou wow in 15 hours though. That boy going crazy, man. Shouts out to Cedric Nash. Man, let's see what it's hitting for.
Mama, I've been outside. Don't see me going in. Blue lights up in my mirror. Damn, here we go again.
Crazy. My house got home invaded Saturday while I was in Indianapolis performing for the WNBA All-Star Game. Instead of focusing on finding the suspects, they focused on some cannabis. So no, I wasn't busted. 2, my house got robbed. 3, I wasn't at home. Long story short, my house
She stay in Indianapolis or no?
I'm the only one that gets arrested. So that's T.
Yeah.
Only one that
So she was in Indianapolis. Where she stay at? Well, performing WNBA All-Star. Bro, why do y'all still be staying in states that, especially when you got money, bro, and you famous, whatever, that where they can fuck with you over weed, bro? Like, y'all need to be living in states where they can't fuck with you over shit like that, bro. Oh God, it's just not that serious. You know? WNBA All-Star Game stuff. I was finding something focused on campus. No, I wasn't busted. My house got robbed. I wasn't home. Long story short, my house gets invaded and I'm the only one that gets arrested.
So that's T.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and check the TMZ report on this because it's pretty interesting. Actually, not even TMZ. People got a way better report. They might have stolen it from TMZ, but let's get into it.
GloRilla arrested for alleged felony drug possession in Georgia after police respond to burglary attempt at her home. The rapper was arrested on July 22nd
Look high as hell.
after police allegedly found marijuana and a controlled substance in her home while responding to reports of a burglary.
Wow.
Need to know, rapper GloRilla was arrested on July 22nd.
What's the point in calling the police?
Found marijuana and a controlled substance in her home while responding to reports of a burglary on July 20th. She voluntarily turned herself into custody and was then released on bond. An investigation into the burglary is still ongoing. GloRilla was arrested on felony drug charges after police in Georgia allegedly discovered marijuana and a controlled substance in her home while responding to a burglary attempt. The 25-year-old rapper voluntarily turned herself into the Forsyth County Jail on Tuesday, July 22nd, according to a statement provided to People by the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. Her arrest comes after police responded to calls regarding a break-in at her home in the early hours of Sunday, July 20th. The call came at 1:30 a.m. and was in response to a burglary in progress. It was reported that 3 suspects had entered the home and were in the process of stealing items when an armed occupant fired at the intruders. The police statement read, "The suspects fled the scene, and it does not appear that any of them were struck. No injuries were reported among the home's occupants."
My name is Boyd Hunter. I am the CFO of Tab Bank and have been for over 20 years.
You say Boyd?
Tab is a bank.
GloRilla, real name Gloria Hallelujah Woods, was not present at the time of the attempted break-in. Police were unable to locate the suspects. However, a thorough investigation was conducted due to the nature of the incident.
Hallelujah Woods? That's her
Deputies
middle
detected a
name.
strong odor consistent with illegal narcotics. As a result, the Lanier Regional Drug Task Force was contacted and responded to the residents, police said. After obtaining a search warrant, a significant amount of marijuana was located in GloRilla's master bedroom closet. Police reported the musician was charged with felony possession of marijuana and possession of a Schedule I controlled substance after turning herself in custody.
So what, she has
GloRilla
pills
was released on a $22,260 bond. Authorities confirmed
taking
that
perks.
an investigation into the burglary is still active and ongoing. Sheriff Ron Freeman commented on the case in a statement, noting that GloRilla is a victim of a serious crime and we're committed to bringing the suspects to justice. He continued adding, at the same time, we must continue to uphold and enforce the law in all aspects of this case. Reps for GloRilla did not immediately respond to people's requests for a commitment.
Call the police and get arrested.
News for arrest comes over a year after GloRilla was arrested on DUI charges in Suwanee, Georgia in April 2024. An incident reported obtained. An incident report obtained by people at the time confirmed that an officer immediately noticed her eyes to be watery and bloodshot after pulling her over for allegedly making a U-turn at a red light. She reportedly told the officer she had drank, per that report, but did not share exactly how much she had consumed, instead saying she was good to drive. That's some country ass. Man, all right, let's just get on with this story.
Then as you scroll through and you look at comments on Twitter and Instagrams, you start to see something. Beam me up, Scotty.
Not sure why she even moved to Forsyth, but yeah, they were wrong. Not sure why she even moved to Forsyth, but yeah, they were wrong. My thoughts exactly. Like, you already got a situation in Gwinnett, and Forsyth is better? Do your homework before moving to any area, especially in the South. Officers don't care about how much paper you have, you and they stuff, and they want you gone. Somebody said 100. 100, my dude, learned that the hard way living in Fayetteville. So let's figure out something. Because the other stuff I had seen was way worse. They was on 10, brother. I mean, big 10, homie. So what I did was I just basically did my due diligence, and I went and researched some stuff. And people consider Forsyth County, Georgia racist primarily because of its violent racial history, particularly the racial cleansing of 1912, and the county's long-standing reputation as a place hostile to black people.
Bro, just 100 years ago, nigga, our great-grandparents, bro, was dealing with some shit, boy, and they parents, nigga. 1921 was when they destroyed Black Wall Street, nigga. That shit just 100 years ago, really not that long ago, bro. We really should be out here sliding on them motherfuckers, but you know.
And we just gonna get into it. In 1912, they had the racial purge. After two separate incidents involving accusations of assaults on white women, white mobs terrorized the black population of Forsyth County. Over 1,000 black residents were driven out of the county through threats, beatings, and arson. Homes, churches, and land owned by black families were abandoned, seized, or destroyed. This act of racial cleansing
they did this shit all over the country, bro.
The county nearly 100% white.
It wasn't just out decades. Here.
Then the second strike against these cats is known as a sundown town. So Forsyth developed a reputation as a sundown county, meaning black people were warned not to be present after dark. For most of the 20th century, Forsyth County was seen as openly hostile to non-white residents and even visitors. Then here's a third strike against them. I think people need to understand how this goes back. In 1987 civil rights marches, when civil rights activists led by Hosea Williams tried to hold a unity march in 1987.
Yeah, Georgia still be tweaking about that weed shit.
Met with KKK members and angry white mobs throwing rocks and chanting racial slurs. The shocking footage aired nationally, exposing Forsyth's lingering racism. A second march the following week brought over 20,000 protesters and thousands of police and National Guard troops keeping the peace. This event cemented Forsyth's image as racially intolerant for the public eye. So y'all can kind of see why people are saying that. And then basically for much of the 20th century, Forsyth remained over 98% white, a direct result of the 1982 expulsion. Even into the 2000s, black residents and visitors reported discrimination, profiling, or being made to feel unwelcome. So, although Forsyth County has grown more diverse in recent years, its history still shapes public perception. Allegations of racial bias in schools, policing, and housing have kept the conversation going. The name Forsyth is often brought up in discussions of modern-day racism in Georgia due specifically to that legacy. So that's just what it is, man.
This is how I became the #1 realtor on social media in my city. Just upload.
Hey, when I tell y'all GloRilla gonna be all right, y'all already know we believe in Drew over here. So attorneys for Big Glo, Marissa Goldberg and Drew Finland of the Finland law firm tell TMZ Hip Hop the arrest of Gloria Woods is a disturbing window into how warped law enforcement priorities have become. Miss Woods was out of town when her residence became a target for a group of home invaders who most likely knew she wasn't there. What they didn't know was that she had family staying with her that were traumatized by violent entrance of this group who grabbed high-end value jewelry before taking
So
off
they actually
once they
got in the
realized the
house.
home wasn't vacant. Finland law firm adds, when her family members did the right thing and called law enforcement instead of investigating the violent home invasion and theft at Miss Wood's home, they instead sought a search warrant when they spotted what they believed was a small amount of marijuana. Law enforcement then sought arrest warrants for her even though she hadn't been at her home for some time. No arrest warrants have been issued for
So nobody in the house could have took possession. Like,
violent home invaders. Miss Woods is a victim, not a suspect.
not saying they had to, but it couldn't have been nobody else's shit, or they blamed it on her, or
This is our tax dollars.
it's her house, her car, she's in possession.
At work, absolutely.
If you're the only one in the car, then yeah, you're in possession. But if there's multiple people in this car, nigga, it's in everyone's possession.
Unbelievable.
You know what I'm saying? Until somebody claims it, you know.
All right, Drew. All right, you pouring it on heavy, but that's what you're supposed to do.
So
Yeah, that's just fucked up, bro. You called up. It's like, what's the point in calling the police, bro? If they gonna come and arrest you because you got weed. Now they said in a felony amount, so I'm assuming she probably had a pound or something, half a pound plus. You know what I'm saying? Because even out here with your medical card, bro, you can have 3. You can have so much shit. Man, this dog, man, you can't be serious, bro. Let's get to the next one, bro.
he had to go do.
You can have so much, bro. Over. Let me see. Over. A quarter. Once you get to a quarter ounce, you can have 3 ounces. Once you get to a quarter ounce, they gonna arrest you. You know what I'm saying? But you can ride around with 3 ounces all day. As soon as you get anything over 3 ounces in a gram, they gonna wanna whoop whoop. I'm big tweaking right now, y'all. Let's finish this one. I just ended the video. I don't know why.
Some digging, and we found out what's called constructive possession laws because the drugs were allegedly found in her private bedroom or closet in her home. That's what's going to end up being the thing. It's not about, because some people are going to be mad I'm about to say this. Well, bro, she wasn't there. More than likely what happened was they smelled that weed. And that weed had to have been in her home. Now, here's the messed up part. They gonna be mad at me for what I'm about to say,
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Good.
Somebody's supposed to take that charge.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
Supposed to be,
bro.
oh, that was mine, man. I didn't expect
it
y'all to
was
find
in her room, so they gonna charge her with it. Like that's, you know.
And then do it that way.
Tough.
GloRilla would have already knew. I ain't gonna hold you. She would have already known, and that would have been that, bro. Because whatever, it's going to end up being basically a fine for personal use. It ain't really gonna matter how much unless y'all would have seen like Ziploc bags and scales and all that crap. Now they had scales in there. It's gonna be charged with distribution, but I'm willing to guarantee that they didn't because I'm 100% sure they would have liked to have done that. She already got a DUI, so her fingerprints already are in the Georgia database. So y'all can get mad at that and say whatever y'all want to say, but basically my thoughts is this. They found that weed in her room. They did. So then they like, who room is that? They're like, GloRilla's. Or I'm guaranteed somebody said something they weren't supposed to say. Like, you know, hey, bruh.
Well, it's just common sense. They're gonna ask whose house it is. They're gonna tell them whose house it is. You know. I mean, I guess you can really lie and say it's your house, but the further it goes, I guess they might want to get some type of evidence. They might want the deed, the lease, or some shit. Ain't no telling. I don't know if it'll go that deep though, but they told her who how, and if it's the master bedroom, then it's in the closet. That's her shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
This and that, but one of the reasons that they shouldn't.
Since that is that snitching to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't necessarily classify that as snitching, but It's just fuck the police. Like, it's that simple.
I've claimed that weed, and some of y'all gonna be mad like, no, bro, you gotta take the charges. You gotta take the charges. No, man. Nah, not when there's drugs and a gun involved. Hell no. If it's guns and drugs involved, bro, you looking at 10 years. So nah.
But you could defend yourself in Georgia. That wasn't in question. They only arrested GloRilla for weed. The gun wasn't in question, so
I know this ain't what people gonna want to hear. Nah, man, they supposed to take that charge. Man, listen, bro, GloRilla gonna be fine. They gonna basically find the hell out of her, and she gonna be fine.
Yeah,
they're going to say, based on the amount of money that she makes, that, bro, there's no way in hell this woman was out here distributing anything. So her lawyers are gonna fight. They either are going to find the mess out of her, or give her some type of community service or some type of probation. She's not going to go to prison over this.
You're actually not lazy. You're just tired of doing everything alone. You know the feeling, the quiet sting when someone
they need to drop that shit, bro. Because that's some hoe ass shit, man.
I hate to say this, but she good.
Somebody supposed to take the charge. What if that was her mama there? Like, her mom, her brother, like, you know?
You can't claim, like, I know some people pissed off reading these probably pissed off at this video, but you cannot have weed and a gun and take both charges. That right there, nah. And I'm not saying that they basically said that was
the charge for the gun, nigga?
Or, you know, whatever, and anything like that.
The gun ain't
They're probably gonna boil it down to, well, this is her house.
Unless I missed it, the gun ain't in question.
Her name. We gonna base
Georgia. You can have a blick in your crib, nigga. You know? You ain't the same out here as out here, but you can have it in your crib and in your car, I think.
Give it to her, even though she wasn't here.
Now, you might have to have a license out there. I don't know that.
But I'm damn near guaranteeing they went up in that room and determined that was GloRilla stuff, because hella weed in there, bruh. Now, you can't plan for anybody to break into your house, but one of the key things that makes me believe there wasn't no backdoor type of stuff, because people go, oh, backdoor. I know that's all the phrase right now. Sadie Nash, you backdoor Duty Low. Trust me, bro. Duty Low would not be here anymore. The type of person I am, 1, I got to do it to you. 2, let me make this emphatically clear. Dead men tell no tales. And my reputation in these streets, I ain't never been no robber. I ain't never been no snitch. I ain't been none of that. But a shooter, hell yeah. I body shit. So it is what it is. But as far as GloRilla, and I don't mean I killed anybody. I'm not saying that. Yeah, no. Anyways, so yeah, I don't see it, because at the end of the day, if he shot at people, like, depending on especially where it hit,
oh brother,
hell nah. Because if somebody would have died, one of those bullets would have flew and killed the neighbor or something like that, that body would have went on the people who robbed that house. And I guarantee you, some of y'all believe in this loyalty word when it comes to certain things. It don't exist with certain shit like that. If you basically paid me to backdoor your own people, guaranteed somebody snitching. You don't need everybody. You just need 1 out of 3. But other than that, man, share to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on bell, stay notified. I'm glad I was able to give y'all a history.
Hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. We on the road to 100K. Okay, if you ain't hit that like button, subscribe button, and turned on all notifications, slap the dog shit about yourself, because that's the first thing you should have did when you clicked on this video. I'll get at you on the next one, and I'm gone. TYP the 9.
TYP the 9, you know that this the way of life. I ain't never read the gang, but I feel like gang tie. I've been really pushing P, put the P in TYP, that nigga.